Hi, this is Mena. I'm here for another Mustache You Mondays. It's campaign season. The election is in 8 days, this many fingers. And I am meeting more and more people that are a little suspicious of town politics and suspicious of people actually having a voice. I can tell you one of my good friends today was telling me that he and his wife saw that I was running for select board and they said, "Oh, we're definitely not voting for Mina. We like that guy. Like, we don't want to put him through that. Like, why would he want to be on the select board? That sounds like a huge headache. We don't want him to have to go through that. So let's do him the favor of not getting him elected." In the same conversation, my friend was actually upset about something that happened in the town, and I don't think the details matter of what he was really upset about. I think you can agree or disagree about whether that thing happened, and I think the more important thing is the process by which that thing happened. And even if the process was good, for him to not trust and not be clear that there was a process in place by which how that decision happened, I think is something that's challenging for a lot of folks in town. I kind of took this for granted and I thought it was automatic, but I was told by another good friend in town that's supporting me that one of the things that I do well, that apparently is is actually a skill, is knowing who to ask about what, and being a connector and bringing people together. Because if I don't know, then at least I know who would know, and I think that's as good a reason as any to vote for me for the select board, is because no matter who you are in town, I'm going to be happy to listen to you and I'm happy to, you know, work with you and figure out what it is that is bothering you about the town, or something that you're trying to get done. And more likely than not, if I don't know who to ask, I know who to ask about who to ask. And that way we're going to be able to connect you with somebody who knows exactly what it is that you need to do, to at least make your voice heard. And, just like with my friend who was upset about, what happened, I don't think the point is, oh, well, you have to listen to me and this is something that has to happen. It's, I'm not really too keen on this thing happening. How do I make my voice heard? And if, we have a process in place for people to be able to voice their opinions. This is essentially what we did with COVID when, you're going to make some people upset. Like, if this group hates masks and this group loves masks, then you can't really make both groups happy, but you can hear both groups out and say, this is the process that we're following, and this is how we're making this decision. The title of today's I Mustache You is a question that I was asked in a sermon that I heard at a church that I was visiting in Virginia. So I was on a road trip with my buddies, and the road trip itself is a hilarious story, which it's not for here. So if you do see me on the campaign trail, or you see me outside of the high school on Tuesday, feel free to ask me to tell you all about this, hilarious road trip that we went on. But one of the experiences that we had, we all went to a church together, away from home. So, it wasn't like our home church. And the sermon was called, "Are You For or Against?" And I'll never forget this because, the pastor at the church was talking about how people spend too much time being so busy being against things that it's hard to really define what they're actually for. And he said, yes, there are some things that we should strictly be against, and we should stand against these injustices. And if somebody's, doing something that is unjust, we want to stand up and be against these things. And nobody is saying anything against um, standing up for justice. But it can't be everything that we do, is that we're constantly saying, no, 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 this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. And constantly being negative like that doesn't really get us anywhere. And his title of his sermon and the thing that he kept repeating was, "Are you for or against?" So today, I must ask you something. Are you for or against? And this could be about anything in the town of Shower. Are you for or against the town? Are you for or against things that the town is doing? And I'm, you know, an open book when it comes to what things, I really care about. I care about the schools. I care about keeping our town beautiful and maintaining the greenery. I'm all for maintaining the lake. I'm all for improving the commercial development in town, both increasing and optimizing commercial development in town. These are all things that I'm for. I'm also for all of our groups, all of the different religions and all of the different ethnicities and all of the different subgroups that we have in town. I love being for people. And I think this is something that we should constantly be asking ourselves. When we're talking about the town, we're talking about issues in the town, is are we so busy being against things that we're not being as supportive as we can of things that we genuinely do and could care about, and we could do a better job investing more of our energy being for instead of against. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you next Tuesday in this many fingers, 8 days, for Election Day on May 20th. Thank you.